Happy Samhain, happy Halloween, happy Hallows Eve, happy Day of the Dead. Here we are gathering together on this holy day, this holiday. Hello, Anthony, Mallory, Hannah, Rita, Joe. We're just going to give a couple minutes for everyone to flow on in. But while we do, would love for you to share your name, where in the world you are joining us from tonight, and how you heard about this amazing gathering. There's been a little confusion about the times, and so we are just rolling with the flow and trusting that whoever is here, we have, I believe, 63 beautiful humans registered. So we'll see who pops in and when. And of course, the replay will be available. So in the chat, I'm going to make my way into there. Name, where you're from, how you found out about this ceremony, and where you're tuning in from. So I'll start. My name is Amber Valdez, and I am a former TV personality, reality star, turned life purpose activator for nearly 7 years. And through that time, I have been deepening my ceremonialist, my water priestess, and my rose priestess. And ever since relocating over here to Spain and then Portugal, I have been deep on the medicine woman priestess path, not from a sense of using psychedelics or plant medicines, but from a sense of bringing myself and those that I have been guiding and in counsel with back to the sacred. Being a stand for liberation, peace, and freedom for all beings through connecting with the sacred, life, Mother Earth, the children, and really choosing to harness in these ancient ways, the old school, the OG ways that are desperately crying for us to come back to center them. And so it is my greatest honor. It is truly my favorite thing to do is to ritual and to ceremony. And so my request is that if you're going to be here and you can, to please put your camera on. It's super important. I get to see your heart, see your soul, and not putting our cameras on would be equivalent to walking up to a table and putting a bag on your head and just expecting everyone to continue to gather with you. So we are an intimate group, and so it would mean the world if I could actually see who I was speaking to, and create some deep connection. For those of us that struggle with being seen in the world, this is definitely a great place to start. The eyes are definitely the gateways to the soul. So I'm going to give you a quick run through as we wait for people to come in. Hello, Mallory from Canada. I actually have a Canadian staying with me right now. Sarah, who's one of my priestesses, dear sisters, and clients, found out from me, of course. I believe Sarah is in a place called Salmon, Idaho, but she might be sneaking away from doing some private chefing right now to be here. So thank you, Sarah. Anthony, tuning in from Cambridge, UK, found online via Insta. Happy to be here. Happy to be here too. I love my Brits. Very, very close to so many people from the UK. Absolutely adore my Brits. So thank you for being here, Anthony, and being the token masculine tonight. We need you so deeply on this path. So thank you for being here. My husband is used to being one of the only masculine in the space, so he'll be very happy to know there was another guy holding it down with me tonight. Hannah, coming to you from Chicago, found this offering online. Amazing, Hannah. Was it from the witches groups on Facebook? Let me know. I don't generally post on Facebook, and so something told me in my heart I was supposed to post on Facebook. So perhaps that's was me casting out my bat signal to connect with you. And Mallory from Canada. So I see Ashley in the room, Harmony, Rita. Would love for you guys to share in the chat where you are, who you're from, where you're at, so we can dive in. So what you should have with you if you don't already, let's just share with that. Again, none of this is mandatory, but this is a good space. Grab a journal or a paper and a pen so you can take some notes. I know some of you may be setting up your Samhain altar with me right now, or some of you may be doing it later, so we want you to take some juicy notes on that. If you can grab a candle, a water vessel of some sorts. When we're sitting in ritual, I like to do the OG ways of bringing in the earth, the air, the water, and the fire. Tonight with water, I have some holy water from a Mother Mary chapel in Switzerland. I also have many other waters from Glastonbury and around the world. Bragging about my water. I'm also holding a water vessel here. The fire, of course, if you haven't yet, make sure you light the candle, reminding ourselves that we are the light, that we come from the light, we go to the light, and giving that opportunity for our ancestors to be guided home. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit when we harness in the history of Samhain, and some really easy rituals that you can continue to do, make your own and share them with your family if you feel called. For air tonight, I have two separate feathers. This is the feather I usually keep next to the picture with my dogs, Romeo and Angel. And then of course for air tonight, I am harnessing in with my owl wing, which I actually got in Glastonbury. So I'm excited to be using the sacred owl medicine tonight, which was one of my main super power animal guides. So the earth, the air, the water, the fire. For earth, I'm also holding my father's gift he gave to me when I was 11. This was the first crystal I ever received. This is a quartz crystal from my father. I don't generally allow or use quartz in my ceremonies because they generally tend to amplify high vibrational things and also not. But because this did belong to my papa, it feels important to be here with us on the altar tonight. So I also have another quartz, selenite, which was next to my dog Angel while she crossed. And I believe some of her essence is here in this as we were sending a ceremony for her to find her way home. So representing the earth tonight, I also have the water, the earth. I'll show you a little bit more about my altar here in just a moment. With the earth, the air, the water, the fire, really bringing in those elements. So if you have access to those items, go ahead and gather those right meow. And for air, you can also, air/water, you can also use some sort of spray. So if you haven't already yet, first things first, let's light our candles. Secondly, if you have your air items, go ahead and either use your beautiful feathers or spritz yourself. You can use any sort of water. I like to use rose water, or if you have incense, Palo Santo or sage, let's go ahead and open and clear the space in any way that feels really intuitive for you. I like to give people an opportunity to trust their intuition, to begin to really trust that you know what you need. And the more we practice listening to that sweet inner voice, life gets easier. And so there's no right or wrong way. So as we anchor in, seeing Rita here from Central Florida, Mallory saw it on IG. Welcome, welcome, Mallory. And Harmony from Missouri via email. I don't know. I've subscribed over the years, honestly. Amazing. So I'm glad that people still read my emails. I'm starting back up on my emails, which feels really important during this time. And if you haven't noticed, I share some things on my emails that I don't share everywhere else because it just feels a little bit more sacred. Yeah, no fire for you. Let's just keep that fire out for now, maybe when you go home tonight. So we are anchoring in the earth, the air, the water, the fire. So let me give you a quick rundown about how tonight is going to flow, or this morning is going to flow, depending on where you are. Hi, Mallory. Where you are in the world, or if you're watching on the replay. Hi. Like I said, we have over 60 people signed up for tonight, and these are the souls that are here with us in this now moment. So we may have some people join in because the times got a little confused. So here we are. Tonight, I'm going to open up the space, call in my devoted unseen team and guides, and yours as well. We'll go into the traditions, the origins. I do believe the time has come for us to start questioning why we do the things we do, why we practice the things we do, why we repeat or say the things we do, and where things come from. Put a 1 in the chat if you can get down with that. Far too many of us just have been doing what we've been told, and we haven't really asked questions. And I think that's really why we were here in most parts of the world. And so a big part of deepening into reverence and coming back into the earth ways of leadership is to begin to question and to get curious about where things derive and why we do them. And so I'm going to drop in quite a bit about where Halloween originated, why it matters to us, and how we can begin to come back and almost grab parts of our souls and our ancestry that have been left behind. So I'm going to open the space. I'm going to give some origins, do a little bit of a teacher moment, got my teaching glasses on, and then we'll dive into some ritual to really begin to harvest and lean into everything that we have created up until now. So much of our life is looking for the next thing, being on the mountain that we once prayed for, praying for the next mountain. And a big part of coming back to these holy days, to Samhain, to this harvest time, is to take inventory on what we've harvested. What blessings are here in our space, and how can we collapse this timeline? Because in Samhain tradition, the Witch's New Year is tonight. This is the time where the veil is the most thin, and also an opportunity for us to go inward, the darkest day of the year so far, and going in and beginning to have gratitude and deep reverence for what was, and also reverence for what is to come. And so we will begin to collapse this timeline, and we will open ourselves up to what wants to be harvested and seeded and be born anew. We can learn so much from the seasons, and coming back to earth ways. Who's excited about that? Put a 1 in the chat if you can get down with that. So we're going to open the space. We are going to talk about traditions and rituals and origins, Day of the Dead, this new one I'm learning all about here in Portugal, which is super new for me. It's basically the day of the bread of God, which we'll get into that here in a minute. Pau Pordu, bread for God. It's a Portuguese folk ritual and holiday custom celebrated tomorrow here, especially in the rural villages and coastal towns here in Portugal. So I'm going to share a little bit about that, because now I get to learn about that tradition living here in Portugal. So then we will share, if you haven't gathered a picture of one of your loved ones, if you have some of their trinkets or their items or a picture of them, and dogs count too. I'll show you my altar here in a bit, and I have pictures of both my pets and also my grandmother and my father, who are on the other side. And so I love the opportunity to take this day, or this month, rather the month of November, to begin to connect with our ancestors. And so I'm excited to explore what comes up for you when you lean into the Day of the Dead or honoring ancestors, because if you grew up in part of the Western world, we've been really taught to fear the dead and fear death and fear ghosts. And I think we definitely get to realize that honoring our ancestors does not mean it is evil or it is wicked, but it is an opportunity for us to really realize that a soul never dies, it just changes form. And our ancestors can be our greatest allies and support system if we learn to create a relationship with them and keep not only their traditions, their rituals, but their essence alive and have it live through us. So who's excited in the 1 in the chat if you are excited about connecting with your ancestors tonight and tomorrow and throughout this month? I'm actually wearing my grandmother's belt tonight to harness in Annie Lima Knezevich, who is my grandmother, who passed away far too young, if I don't say so myself. So Annie is with us tonight. She loved to smoke cigarettes. She loved her CC and Coke. She drove a Cadillac. I thought she was so cool, and she always had the best nails west of the Mississippi. But my nails would definitely be a disgrace to her. Right meow. So sorry about that, Nana, but I'm taking a break from the nail tip. I'm going all natural as a proper earth witch would. So here we grow. We're going to get started. So I know she's great, my grandmother. Joe from Estonia, one of the oldest languages spoken here. Wow. We have Souls Day near Halloween where we honor ancestors and leave out candles to help them find us. We leave out food for them too. Oh my gosh, Joe, I'm so excited for when it's your time to share a little bit more, if you feel so called, about your rituals and your traditions, because we're all the same. We really it just depends where in the world we're from. But I love learning about ancient traditions, and I feel like we can become more of ourselves when we truly know where we come from. I think that's a reason why a lot of us, and I speak for those of us in America and Canada who have left their homelands, feel a little bad of sorts. Yeah, totally. Day of the Dead. Well, I'm rocking half Day of the Dead. I've got my Mexican earrings on, and once you see my altar, Erica, you'll see that I'm like half Day of the Dead, a little bit of Samhain, and now a whole bunch of Portugal with this bread that smells like cinnamon that they only bake this week, that I am going to eat tomorrow on Samhain with my in-person ritual here. So enough of that. Let's get to it. So again, thank you so much for taking the time. If you haven't lit your candle, please do that. If you haven't smudged your space, please do that. And if you don't have any smudge, Palo Santo, sage, smudge of the priestess, or any sort of ways in which to cleanse your space through incense, sweetgrass, and the like, go ahead and just give some claps around your space. You can go both ways and just go ahead and intentionally anchor yourself into this moment now. So I'm going to play my sacred mountain goat drum. My invitation for you is to close your eyes and find yourself anchoring into this now moment. As we move my drum mallet, 1 second. Find yourself anchoring into this now moment, leaving your responsibilities behind, Giving yourself full permission just to be here now. Oh, this is super flat. We're not using that. I love my Australian mountain goat drum. However, if the weather is what the weather is weathering, she gets flat with humidity. Bless it. That's why we have this girl. Looks like a moon anyway. All right, so go ahead, roll your shoulders up and back. If you can gently put your feet on the ground or tuck your tailbone under, let's just begin to sit and root down in this now moment. And if it feels good, you can put your palms facing upward if you are in the space of desiring to be more in the receiving position, and your hands gently facing down in your lap if you would like to go more inward. I trust your intuition. You can't mess it up. So slowly becoming aware of the space that you are currently settling into. And let's just give ourselves permission to just be here right now. Taking a nice, gentle inhale through our nose and an exhale gently out of our mouth with a sigh. We're going to do a few more of those, intentionally inhaling through the nose, pattern interrupting by exhaling with sound or a sigh, just moving this energy, letting it all go. Next, deep, slow inhale, visualizing yourself like a mighty oak tree. And on the exhale, visualizing your leaves gently falling into the earth. Continuing to breathe. Breath is the pathway to other worlds. It is the pathway to the present moment. It is the pathway for us to have choice. With breath, we always have choice. So keep breathing in, and with every exhale, visualizing these parts that no longer get to be brought into this new year with you, gently falling into the earth. Continuing to breathe into this moment, visualizing at the base of your spine now, a cord as wide as your shoulders, as wide as your hips, dropping through the chair, through the floor, anchoring down, drilling down, down into the arms of Pachamama. Visualizing tree roots growing out of your feet, anchoring you into the earth. Visualizing your feet like ice melting into the soil below. And with this grounding tube being caught in the arms of Pachamama, in just a few moments, we're going to set it to exhale, and she will begin to vacuum out any and all experiences, stories, thoughts, fears that are swarming in your field, hijacking your ability to be fully present in this now moment. Because presence is truly the gift. So taking a deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, exhale, visualizing her, releasing any and all things that's not serving you in this moment. And with every breath, let go a little more. Relaxing your butt cheeks, your shoulders, your belly, your dantian, your womb, your inner thigh, your outer thigh. Continuing to breathe, letting Pachamama release. Visualizing in this now moment, you having an aura as wide as arm's distance on either side, in front, above, behind, and below you. And just like a spider web, our aura can begin to catch things, people, stories, energies that aren't ours in our web. And so let us begin to gently carve out the inside of our auras so that we are fully ourselves during our ceremony tonight. And just like you would carve the inside of an avocado, or you would rake leaves away that have fallen, I want you to visualize yourself raking or scooping out the inside of your aura on all sides, all the way around, above, behind, and below you. Releasing any and all energies that aren't yours. Because how can we be sovereign beings if we are collecting the residue of others? Just breathing, cleansing. Don't forget to do above and below. And in this moment, we're going to call in our unseen team as you begin to purify your aura. Retracting that anchor, that grounding cord back into the base of your spine. With one last exhale, letting it all go. See if you can relax a little bit more. See if you can commit to silence, to stillness, and let Mother Earth do her thing. Nothing for you to do. You just get to be and receive. And as you scope out the last bits of your aura, I want you to visualize a beautiful golden sun above your head. Father Sky is shining down, this beautiful sun, filling up your aura now that you've released any and all beings, experiences, feelings that are not yours, down that tube and into the earth. And with your psychic paintbrush, I want you to paint the intention of how you desire to feel in this ritual, in this great gathering, as you move into this holy day. Samhain, Hallows Eve, Day of the Dead, All Saints Day. And allow that truth to wash over you like a golden shower, imprinting your cells, your bones, your tissues with this beautiful light, reborning you anew through the power of the sun. Thank you, Mother Earth, for allowing us to release what isn't ours so we can be fully present in this gift of gathering together. Thank you, Mother Earth, for holding us. We bow to you with deep reverence and gratitude. Thank you to all the beings, the angels, the archangels, the spirit guides, the animal power spirits that brought each and every one of these souls to gather with us today, currently in this now moment on this holy sacred day that has been given a bad rap. We thank you for moving all of the roadblocks for these beautiful souls to choose to be here. They could be anywhere, but they are choosing to be here in this now moment. Knowing that there are no coincidences and energy knows no time or space. So whether you're here now in the physical or you are watching this on the replay, trust that your energy is sacred and you are weaving this powerful activation, amplification for prayer and remembrance with us. And the ancestors, the Lancestors, and your spirit team of unseen guides, thank you. So in this moment now, visualizing a beautiful white light surrounding the circle, visualizing light radiating out of 4 pillars on each side of the room that you are in, visualizing a beautiful tent going over your room, your home, your car, your office, wherever you are now, calling in Archangel Michael to protect this space, making his way around all corners of the room, underneath, above. And we ask for us to repeat the mantra 3 times, knowing that when we say something 3 times, the spelling, the intention is magnified. So on the count of 3, with your eyes closed out loud, you will repeat the mantra, only love lives here. 1, 2, 3. Only love lives here. Only love lives here. Only love lives here. Calling in this moment your unseen team, your mothers of your mother's mother, happy ancestors, the red thread, your fathers of your fathers, both happy ancestors from your matriarchal and your patriarchal line. We welcome them into this space. We welcome into this space any deceased loved ones that come with love and light and are here to celebrate and honor you. We welcome them into this space with so much love and gratitude, recognizing a soul never dies, it just changes form. We call in my team of guides, Yeshua, Mother Mary, Joan of Arc, White Buffalo Calf Woman in the Order of the Sacred Grandmothers, Isis, Hecate, Hathor, Babaji, Yogananda, Kuan Yin, Lakshmi, Ganesha, Sacred Owl, Sacred Crow, and one guide that came to me recently in the Spanish mountains, the duck, and the Sacred Wolf. And we invite any and all animal guides that you work with. We invite the essence of the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged ones, the creepy crawlies, the microbiome, the elementals, the mermaids, the dragons. And we ask the Celtic ancestors for their blessings tonight. The druids that paid forward these incredible practices of honoring the harvest and really coming in a good way with deep reverence for Mother Earth, family, community, food, the moon, the sun, water. Call in the sacred water beings, Oshun, Yemenjah. Thank you for your presence. We call in the fire beings, the fire keepers. Thank you, fire, for your warmth, for your ability to purify what is not serving. Thank you, fire beings. Thank you to the wind beings, my team, who connects with me so powerfully through the gentle and not so gentle winds. May we all embrace the winds of change as we embark on this path of life, freedom, and liberation and peace for all beings, as these patriarchal domination, colonizing ways and timelines and demonic forces collapse, as the matriarchal community's essence of love, community, unity, oneness, freedom, liberation, and peace for all beings comes online. We are grateful for this tower moment in her story, and we are grateful to be a part of this new path that none of us have walked before. And we are open for the Great Spirit and the True North to be continuing to pave our way. Breathing into what was, exhaling what was, breathing into what's coming, and exhale what's coming. Breathing in surrender, and exhaling surrender. Allowing the winds of change to clear a pathway forward for you, for this planet, for the world. Thank you, air spirits. Thank you to the earth beings, the earth spirits, the elementals, and the happy ancestors, the rock beings, the tree people. Thank you for the walk, for the path, for the kindness, for your roots, for your truth, for your stability, the mountains, sacred mountain medicine. sacred mountains, knowing that we are nature is not just a bumper sticker. Our lungs look like nature. Our hands look like leaves and tree trunks. There's no difference. We are all one. So breathing into this oneness, breathing into the truth of what is coming. Just feeling in this now moment your happy ancestors and ancestors coming forward to say hello. I truly believe that our path forward has a great deal to do with our ability to work in partnership with our lineage and healing the wounds of our ancestry and learning how to walk in a good way. And one of those ways we can learn and gather more parts of our soul is to go back to the roots. And for some of us whose ancestors left Europe and made their way to the States, many of us were forced to leave our traditions and even our native tongue behind. There was great shame in carrying those things forward and speaking our native tongue. In many ways, it was beaten out of us. And whether your family migrated to lands far away or your family has become more independent and less with community and tribe, this is affecting all of us. We are pack animals. We are stronger together. And the ways of the Matrix has made it ever more enticing for the state of independence and separation and division. And although our families may not practice in the same way or believe the same way as we do, we have an opportunity to lean into chosen family of hearts far and wide. And the only way we're going to get through this new timeline is together in community, in person, online, and internationally. And we begin to activate these grids of light. We become a powerful fire, an unstoppable force that will burn down these systems of oppression and patriarchy, and that will light the new way. The walk of the light leaders, the witches, the priestesses, the wise ones, is to allow the light to lead the way through the darkest parts of the world. So taking a deep breath in, visualizing this torch burning bright in front of you, visualizing this true north paving your next most obvious step, and allow this torch to begin to highlight the things that you are the most grateful for over this last year. Honoring that if today is the end of the year in Celtic tradition, what are you most grateful for in this harvest? And begin to allow these images and these visions and these words and these experiences to come to your mind's eye. Just allow it to simmer in the cauldron like a great spaghetti sauce, begin to bubble. Because so often our focus can be on what's not working. But I guarantee, no matter how hard this last year has been, there were some great wins, great blessings, and more of those will come. So as we begin to gently come back into this space, you can sit with your eyes closed if it feels good. And I'm just going to begin to share some truth with a capital T of the her story, his story of Samhain. And I'm interested to see what comes alive in your body when you hear these truths. Because so much of the Western world loves to erase culture and tradition because they know, the Matrix knows, that when you are not connected to truth, religion, and tradition, you become very manipulated, ability to be very easily manipulated and compromised. We start to feel less connected with the world when we don't have roots, just like we start to feel out of our bodies when we're not grounded. That's why walking around with our shoes off is so important, because that rubber is jacking us up from the frequencies of the earth that keep us chill and grounded. So Samhain is a religious festival originating from ancient Celtic spiritual tradition. In modern times, Samhain, which is spelled Samhain, is usually celebrated from the 31st to the 1st, and it's a time to welcome in the harvest and usher in the dark half of the year. The dark time of the year is a powerful time. I've just come out of a dark season, which didn't fall in alignment with the seasons this year, and I believe I'm moving into my summer. I believe my summer in the previous winter was real dark. Share in the chat if that feels right for you. And some of us are going into our dark times, our hibernation space. And just like the trees release their leaves every year, they don't panic and go, shit, I'm losing all my trees or my leaves. We know it's a natural part of the death rebirth cycle. And as humans, we get to get really comfortable with death and rebirth. Nature does it every year. She doesn't freak out. The leaves always come back, mostly. So this great fire festival, millions of children and adults participates in this fun of Halloween on the night of the 31st. But few people are aware of the ancient Celtic roots. In Celtic Ireland, about 2,000 years ago, I think America's like a couple hundred years old. We're talking 2,000 years ago. This is how old this was. This is way before the church, folks. This is way before any of that. All right. Samhain was the division of the year between the lighter half of the summer and the darker half of the winter. And this was the division between the worlds. And the other world was at its thinnest, which would allow these spirits to not only pass through if they hadn't, but also our family ancestors were honored and invited to come home, while the harmful spirits were warded off. People wore costumes and masks to disguise themselves from the harmful spirits to avoid harm. That's where we get the masks from. But back then they were like burlap and made out of horsehair, and they were really creepy. The creepier, the better. And people would wear them. Yeah. And bonfires and food were a big part. The bones of slaughtered livestock were cast into the communal fire, and household fires were extinguished and started again from the bonfire. The food was prepared for both the living and the dead, and the food for the ancestors who were in no position to eat it was ritually shared with the less well-fortunate, which is so beautiful. Christianity then incorporated honoring the dead with the All Saints, All Hallows Eve, which was on November 1st. And then it was followed by All Souls on November 2nd. Yeah. So when the Irish immigrated to America during the potato famine in the 1840s, they carried all their traditions with them. And now Halloween is actually one of the most major days of the year in America. I don't know how it is in the UK, Anthony. I'd be really interested to hear. I heard that the Brits actually banned Halloween back in like 16 something. And funny enough, the church actually was the one that created Halloween. They're like, yeah, we want Halloween. Just kidding. We want to ban it. So I guess no trick-or-treating for you Brits. I don't know if that's still holding true. I'd love for you to share in the chat. So through the time, back in the day, the Irish used to carve turnips instead of pumpkins. They actually used to carve turnips. I'm imagining bigger than this. And they would carry them around with candles in them as torches to see into the night. The farm boys would actually go from house to house in Scotland and Ireland, and they would demand a trick or a treat. And that's where we get trick or treat. It was actually the one of cash, to be honest with you, back then. If you didn't do that, they would create some serious mischief. So when the Irish came to the States, turnips were kind of hard to find and even harder to carve. So they went ahead and they brought in some pumpkins. And that's how we got the jack-o'-lanterns. Jack-o'-lantern is named after a horrible man named Jack. We're not going to give that guy any credit today, but just know that's where it comes from. So there's 2 hills in Boyne Valley, which I've been to, and I'm actually taking women back to this year on a sacred Ireland pilgrimage. But those were associated with Samhain in Celtic Ireland, and the Hill of Tara, and also Tiachtiga, which I'm probably completely badgering, was the location of these fires. And so it's very exciting to know that these traditions and origins come from something, a space that we're here to honor our ancestors, those that walked before us, which is so beautiful, and also to honor the year and the seasons, right? We change just like the seasons, but we forget we're so disconnected from the seasons of change that we make ourselves feel bad or wrong if we feel like going inward and we feel like being less social and we feel a little bit sad or we're going through grief and we're made bad or wrong and we're hopped up on, medication. But the truth of the matter is that we are beings who are deeply connected to the seasons and to the earth. And so when I share all that with Samhain, what comes alive for you? And I would love for you to share in the chat what comes alive when you begin to hear this history of Samhain and its traditions. And then we're going to move on to beautiful Day of the Dead. Because depending on where you were born in the world, besides the States, there tends to be a really deep-rooted culture and tradition around these holy days. Anthony says, it's actually quite popular when kids went trick-or-treating for the first time say, oh, fun! What did they dress up as? So sweet. So sweet. It's funny enough, I used to want to be a witch for like almost every single year. Funny, not funny. I guess you always know. When I was a little girl, my mom would be like, you want to be a witch again? I'm like, yep. Yep, I want to be a witch again. Spider-Man and a cat. Cute. Cute. Samhain definitely brings up big feelings in me. Huge. Yeah. So good. So good. Before we get into Day of the Dead, I want to talk about this new one that I'm starting to learn about. Pau por Dieu, bread for God. So here in Portugal, they still practice Pau por Dieu, bread for God. And this is a folk ritual, apparently, that had to do with an earthquake. And the kids would go around and they would ask houses carrying cloth bags or baskets saying Pau por Dieu, which means bread for God. In return, they would get small gifts, traditionally bread, cakes, fruits, or sweets, though sometimes I guess they give them coins or candies. This act symbolized honoring the dead, community sharing, and gratitude for the harvest. And it's a beautiful mix of the Catholic All Saints with pre-Christian, pagan harvest, and ancestral rituals, which is kind of cool. Every society has bread, right? It's one of those things that connects all of us. In some religions, people also leave bread out for the departed loved ones on their graves, showing reverence and remembrance. And it's really about community, reciprocity, and remembrance. What a better time for us to really anchor in what's going on in the world. This is what I'm saying. These traditions could really change a lot of things, don't you think? If we actually practice them, we'd come back to what matters. Community, reciprocity, remembrance, reverence. What a different world we would be if it meant a hell of a lot more than just dressing up and taking candy. Yeah? And scary movies that teach us to fear the dead. Yeah. So, I love it. 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 Okay. Anthony says, I've been honoring my ancestors on this day the last few years. Oh, that's amazing. It's all good, girl. I know a lot of people did. Laura, I'm talking to you. Share where in the world you're tuning in from. And yeah. Okay, great. So I would love to move on to Day of the Dead. What do you guys know about Day of the Dead? For those of us in America, we're a little closer to Mexico. So I'm obsessed with it. It starts October 27th through November 2nd. Yes. I know the film Coco is linked, right? Totally. We watched it last night. It's so cute. If you guys haven't seen Coco yet, invitation, homework, watch it. It's so damn cute. The short of the story is that the Mexicans do not fear the dead. They celebrate it with bright colors, with beautiful costumes, with crazy decor. I tried really hard to find marigolds today here in Portugal, but I couldn't find them. So generally my altar is adorned with many marigolds, and they believe that you lay the marigolds as a path for the ancestors to find their way home. How fucking cute. So usually I will lay the marigolds all the way to my altar. And I'm excited to share with my altar a little bit because my altar is a little bit Day of the Dead-y, and then it's also a little bit Samhain-y, and it's just a little bit of all the things because I am all the things and we are all one. I'm very connected, even though my family doesn't celebrate. It makes me feel more at peace and connected. Me too, Erica. So a part of my lineage is Mexican, Native Mexican, and then Spanish, Portuguese from that side, and then the other side is Croatian. I don't know of any Croatian rituals quite yet, but what I do know, the more I practice and honor my ancestors, the more connected I feel to who I am. And that's why I'm really excited to share with you guys more ways to create more reverence in your life, not just to your ancestry, but also to the world, to Mother Earth, and to the sacred. So the Day of the Dead is a day that honestly turns into parades, and people make a shit ton of food. A lot of them go and sleep in the cemetery. So Oaxaca is a big place in Mexico, one of my favorite places, and that's when I started to really learn about Day of the Dead. I was obsessed. If you go in any part of the month of November, they generally are still keeping up all of the floats and all of the skeletons made out of paper mache, and families will all go all night and party in the cemeteries. And they're bringing crazy, I'm talking food upon food upon food, and they're bringing their ancestors' favorite dishes. And they're also eating, and they're also leaving beautiful food for their ancestors to eat. And they believe that is the night that if you keep a picture up of your family, if you honor them, that they are able to leave the other world and to come and celebrate with you and be with you. And so one of the ways in which you can harness Day of the Dead, Samhain, is you can get 3 candles, how I've learned it, and you can stick those candles in your window tonight. And that generally, get a safety candle. I've got both. I've got my lit candle, and I've got these little plasticky ones for safety reasons. But if you can safely do it, put 3 candles in your window, and that is a nice gesture to help your ancestors find their way home. How sweet is that? And so they would put the candles out the night of Samhain to guide them on their way. And also create those marigolds, which would lead to the altars, which would lead to the space. So invitation, tomorrow night, Samhain, or tonight, up to you. Set a place at your dinner table for your ancestors. Make them their favorite dish. I have at my altar, which I'll show you here in a minute, I have, my dad loved pistachios. I've got treats for my doggies. And of course, I've got my Mexican bowls here. Okay. I've got my grandmother. She loved popcorn. Didn't have a chance to pop it, but you best believe I'll be having lots of popcorn in Annie's name tomorrow. With the bowl I have of hers, which my cousins are pissed that I ended up with the popcorn bowl, which was kind of the puke bowl, depending upon if you were sick or eating popcorn at my grandma's house. So yeah, so you can set out little snacks in their honor. Usually I'd have some CC and Coke, Canadian whiskey. Can't get that here in Portugal. Already tried. Sorry, Nana, you're not getting your whiskey tonight. My dad was sober at the end, so there wasn't his favorite drink, but he sure did love freaking Diet Coke, but I'm not supporting Coca-Cola because they support the genocide. So he's just going to have his Air Diet Coke this lifetime. So get some snacks for your loved ones. Put in the chat some of the snacks that your deceased loved ones liked. I would love to know if you guys know. I asked my husband, I was like, well, what are we going to put out for your dad? And he's like, I don't know what snacks my dad liked. And I was like, okay, well, maybe his favorite dish or something. I'm sure we'll make some empanadas tomorrow for Gustavo's dad. Hot sauce. Yeah. So put some hot sauce. What are some of the favorite snacks of your loved ones? I've got the sardine treats here for Angel and Rome. So when we're talking about making our altars, we just want to come in a good way. And as we start to speak about them, and we'll talk about them tonight, if you have your pictures of them, I would also love for you to share them, and we'll share some memories. Chocoramo. It's a vanilla cake covered in chocolate. Oh, café con leche, oros con leche. Oh my God, yum. Yum. So you get to get that out for them. And also you both get to enjoy. Chocolate pudding and cheesecake. Yum. Who are the ancestor? You just telling me the snacks, but what are the name? Who are the names of the people who love these items? Pinwheel marshmallow cookies for my grandma. Oh, my mom liked cheesy potatoes and tea. What kind of tea? My grandpa loved Good and Plenty licorice candies. Oh yeah. Wasn't that a purple box? Do they still make those? My dog used to love pizza. Oh my God, yeah. So it looks like you're eating licorice and pizza and cheesy potatoes and tea if you can over the next couple days or even the next few weeks. Grandma and Grandpa, said Laura. Love it. Japanese green tea for mama. Yummy. So this is a fun way, yeah, to get our ancestors to continue to come through. We're dangling the carrot of their favorite snacks. And if you don't know what their favorite snacks is, or their favorite drinks, or their favorite foods, that's okay too. You can harness and bring in some sort of harvesty type, maybe a pumpkin pie, maybe some pumpkin bread, maybe some rye bread, right? You can get some nuts, right? Some berries, right? And a proper Samhain feast would consist of rye bread and berries and nuts and mead and wine. And so really think about what you can bring in. The colors for Samhain, obviously, we've got the browns and the oranges, right? We've got colors that really represent the harvest time. So basically anything in those like neutral tones would be a great move, yeah, to call in. Breads, cakes, nuts, you're in a good space, yeah? Or death, rebirth. Apples are really good. Back in the day, you know, all those games that you guys used to play at these Halloween parties, you want to put some in the chat? Those all come from Samhain traditions that helped you foretell the future, right? They used to play these bobbing for apples, and they used to tie strings on apple cores, and they would forage the nuts and the berries from the land. They would play these games with coins and crucifixes and pig rings, and they were like divinity marriage games that they would play these games to like know who their loved one was going to be, and they would like carve the initials on an apple and then make you bob for it, and that would be the name of the person you were going to marry. So they played these really cool harvest games whilst also giving excuses to gather with each other, right? Halloween crosses were hung outside to bless the home, holy water, right? So the Irish still celebrate this to this day, like real talk, right? And so do Mexicans. There's nothing scary about honoring your ancestors, right? Just because they're on the other side doesn't mean that they are evil or dark. And I feel like in America, we've been taught to fear these days and fear ancestors, and not talking about the dead been so hush hush, right? So root vegetables, pumpkin, squash, carrots, these are the foods of the seasons, right? So we're gonna make a proper feast tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna leave out some candles. We're gonna help these lost spirits find their way home. We're going to leave the electric ones hopefully out so we don't burn the place down. Definitely do a prayer over it. And we're gonna make some juicy altars. So I'm gonna show you guys my altar. And if you guys have pictures of your ancestors, I'd love to see them. So let me see. Okay, let's see. So we've got, let me try here. Oh, you guys see? Can you guys see? So we've got my grandma, my dad, we've got my pups, Angel and Romeo. We've got their collars, got some white carnations, got Legos that Romeo left for me. We've got my grandma's Buddha that she gave me that my grandpa got when he was in the war. One of the owls of my grandma's. We even got my grandma's Bible, and this little Native American canteen that my dad gave me. We've got pumpkins and squashes, and you can really have some fun with it, right? You can put these altars up, you can leave them up all month, but definitely if you have the space, this has something to do with your kiddos, Anthony, too. You can put pictures of your ancestors up in frames. You can have a good time with it, right? So I'm just gonna show a picture of my dad. Look at that stash. There's a picture of my dad, Paul. I used to call him Poppy. And that little one right there with the red outfit, that's me. And there's my grandma with her cool hair and her glasses. That's Annie. And here's another one with my dad and me in high school wearing the 70s outfit that my mom wore when she was like 18. There's absolutely no way I'm fitting in that shit now, let's be real. And that's in Seattle. I barely got into that thing when I was like 16 or 15. There's my dad. We were outside playing in the snow. I wish I had that outfit, but I know I couldn't fit in it. So that's my dad. And here's my pups, Angel and Romeo. I used to call them the bears. So I've got their collars here. So you really can't mess up your altar, right? And my altar actually for the most part, besides the food, stays up on my altar all year. But I always have them in the space and in the field. But I want to show one of my favorite things here, which is my grandma's Bible. The thing is old AF. Look at this thing. So old. The little girl that was staying with me during COVID, bless her heart, she was like, I would catch her. I mean, if you see this thing, it's like, she was like kind of making it messed up. And I was like, you do not need to play with that anymore. This thing is old. I think she got this for her Holy Communion or something. I mean, this is ancient, dude. So this is my most prized possession from my grandma. It's like a thick, I don't know what to call this. This is old. I've actually never even read this because I'm too scared. So do any of you guys have any trinkets you would like to share? I would love to see any trinkets or pictures you have of your family, and bring them into the space tonight. But bright orange and yellow flowers is said to lead the souls from their burial place to your home. But cheerful hues also add to the celebratory nature of the holiday, which is wrapped in death, but not somber, but festive instead. Yeah, same in the UK. Hush hush about talking about the dead. Yeah. Cool mustache. It's Movember in the UK for Tomorrow Men's Mental Health Initiative for Grow a Stash. That's so cool. I love that. Resin. The cover is made of resin. Oh, wow. It feels like pearl or something. It used to be gold on the sides. It used to be super gold here, but it's fading away. I should probably put this in plastic, honestly, to preserve it, but I just think it's so pretty. I want to tell you guys something real funny. I got an email from someone today, and it was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Repent for God's sakes, Amber. And I said, I love Jesus. I was like, Anthony, you know this guy, or Andrew. I was like, I love Jesus. I think you're very misunderstood about what it is that I'm creating tonight. Sending you love, brother. Jesus loves you too. I was just like, wow. I'm in an Airbnb, forgot the pictures, but create an altar here for the weekend. I'm here for a conference. Oh, I love that, Anthony. I don't want to send pics, but I'd be happy to show my permanent altar with my ancestor pictures. Amazing. I have a necklace of Royan's, a woman I help move. Yes, that'd be offering to Oshun today. Oh my God, yay. I should have brought her necklace that you gave me, Sarah. So beautiful, so beautiful. So if you don't have any trinkets of your family, that's okay too. You can draw them a painting, you can draw them a picture. It's really just about being in the essence. You could also print some out online. I'm having Gustavo go tomorrow and print a picture out of his dad because he actually doesn't have any physical parts of his dad, right? So just remember, like, your altar can be, your vigil can be anything. As long as you got a candle and you got pure intent, you're in a good spot, right? So grateful for the sacred time. Amazing. Thank you, Hannah. All right, so altars. Everybody feel clear about the altars. Everybody have some understanding about the Celtic festival Samhain. And does everybody have a little bit of understanding about Day of the Dead? Why do you guys think these days matter so much? Why do you think it's important for us to come back to the origins and the truth of these holy days? Why do you think it's so important? My eldest already made me want to go print pictures of my ancestors to get some sex on. Yeah, amazing. Why do you think it's so important to know? If we don't pause to celebrate the past, we don't know how far we've actually come. Yes, for sure. That's definitely one. I think it's important because otherwise time just passes with no intentional breaks. Yes. To feel the connection, as you were saying, community is key. Yes. And I truly feel that we don't know who we are if we don't know where things come. And I think that starting to pay forward the wealth and the truth, we live in a society where it's cultural appropriation. People are just stealing people's things and they're not actually paying back the well, right? I have an Irish sister who said, people need to pour water back into the well. It's not just taking and taking and taking. It's like honoring the true roots, having deep reverence and gratitude for where these origins came, right? Like these are 2,000-year-old traditions that society has kind of taken and turned into a commercial holiday, if I'm honest, in America. And when we come back to the origins, we come back to truth with a capital T, right? We don't live in this fantasy world, which is fun sometimes, but it loses its essence and its grounding and its connection to the mother, to the root of all things. Yes? To move from humbleness and gratitude for being a part of the magical web of life. Yes. Yes. And as we step into deeper levels of reverence, we connect more with the heartbeat of the earth. We connect more with life and children, and we realize that we are part of one. We are oneness, right? Not just surface level, but going actually deep. Hi, Lauren. So good to see you. Going deep into literally the roots. If we lose our roots, what happens to a tree when it finds its roots? It generally falls down. A tree needs roots to go deep, far, and wide, right? To feel sturdy and strong and connected to something bigger. And that's why reverence has been so lost. And I really think it's why so many of us feel so lost and confused about life right now, is because we don't have these deep connections to our ancestry, to the roots, the truth, and the origins. Yes, yes. So let's move forward. Everybody excited? Who is going to make an altar tonight or tomorrow? Who's going to get some pictures of their family? Who's going to get some snacks? Who's going to get some trinkets? Who's going to like dive into this and just have fun? This is such a fun way also to like bring their memories alive. So I would love for you to share in the chat one fun memory about your one ancestor, or if you feel called to unmute the phone. I shared a little bit about my grandma Annie, how she liked to smoke cigarettes and drive Cadillacs, and had a dog named Micho, and she always had the best really unhealthy snacks. Push-ups, cheese balls for my 80s kids, you know what I'm talking about. And we got to stay up as late as we wanted and run muck like little hellions. And she used to shop for us literally all year. Christmas was like such a big splurge for my grandmother. She loved the holidays. She went all out on all the things. And she used to sit on the porch. And I remember the last Halloween that she stayed at our house, and I don't know why she was at our house, but we weren't there. She said no trick-or-treaters came, and she was upset because my grandma would buy the big candy bars. She would buy like the big fucking things. And she was like, nobody came. And I was like, well, Nana, you didn't turn the light on the porch. Like generally, if you don't put the light on, they won't come. She's like, oh. I think that was the last year she trick-or-treated, or she did the trick-or-treating. But I just remember her being so sad that she didn't get any trick-or-treaters. So bless. Mallory says to remember who we are, to remember we are at once more than this, but also to be humbled by the vastness of the universe, that we are one to dissolve the fear of death. Yes, dissolve the fear of death. It's so true, right? Like imagine if you grew up in a culture where everyone celebrated you on one day out of the year. Think about as a kid, like celebrating your grandma and your great grandpa. It would almost have you not be as scared to die because you knew you could still be connected with your family, right? I think other cultures are less scared of death, right? And so may this be a way that you can start to create a new conversation, right? There's two things for sure. One thing's guaranteed, none of us are making it off this planet alive. As one of my friends, Brianna, always likes to say. That's guaranteed, right? We all gonna die. We all are born and we all die. Those of us that are here. None of us are getting out here alive. Yeah? So I'm very excited. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's do our ritual. So does anybody else want to share anything about one of their deceased loved ones? Does anyone have a picture? Did anybody bring a picture that they'd like to share? Okay. All right. No pressure. So we're going to move into a beautiful ritual. And as we were meditating, we were leaning into what we could generally be grateful for this year. And so as we come to this time of leaning into what are we celebrating with this harvest, right? What have you created this year? What are some blessings that you are most grateful for? And I want you to, if you need to close your eyes, you need to lean in or not, grab your journal. And I'm going to play my drum. And I want you to feel into what are you harvesting right now? If you're visualizing your life, there's this beautiful, beautiful field, squashes and pumpkins and corn and all these harvest time goodies. if you're looking out into the field that has been the last year, what are you harvesting? What are you the most grateful for? As we lean into this past year, this is a deep time of reflection, which is New Year. New Year begins tomorrow. This is New Year's Eve, if you will. What is it that you're harvesting? What are we letting die to become born anew? And we'll talk about those. I want you to lean in. I hear the voice of my grandmother's calling me. I hear the voice of my grandmother's song. I hear the voice of my ancestors calling me. I hear the voice of my ancestors' song. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Ancestors dance with me. Ancestors dance with me. Your blood runs through my veins. Your spirit is in my heart. Your memories are my soul. With this gift of remembrance, that makes me whole. What parts of you are you honoring into this death descent? What grief can you release? Whilst also being grateful. Because the more we die, the newer parts of us can be born. letting go? What are you honoring that it's time to die? Sometimes we have to go deep into the descent to leave all behind that we've gathered, that we thought we needed. And oftentimes what we needed up until now is not what we need moving forward. So if you haven't yet, grab your journal and begin to just channel what you're harvesting, what you're letting die, what you're honoring, and what's being called to be planted in the seeds anew in this next year. The old year ends and a new one begins. This is such a gift to be born anew. What are we offering up to the fire? What are we putting in the cauldron to be born, to be burned away, to make space? Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. I am the earth, and the earth is me. I am the earth, and the earth is me. I am nature, and nature is me. I let it all go like an old tree lets its leaves fall away. Fire, burn it all away. Fire, burn it all away. Fire, burn it all away. Wind spirits, bring in the winds of change. Wind spirits, bring in the winds of change. It is safe for me to trust the sacred winds of change, the sacred winds of change. Water, wipe away my tears. Sacred water, help me flow and let it go. Let it go. this new way. The veil is thin. The veil is thin and so timely right now through this great unraveling. At Samhain, the veil between the worlds is so thin that our ancestors, our guides, and our unseen teams are very close. And the modern world is thin too. The systems are collapsing. Truths are being revealed across all spaces, on the global stages, leadership, communities. Shadows are facing front and center and are coming to the surface. So Samhain teaches us to look at what's dying but not turn away. And just as we must face off with this unraveling of the patriarchy and capitalism and the war machine and separation, we too get to lean into what was also being excited for what's coming. I know you do, Rita. The only way we're going to get through this time is by becoming ever more connected to the sacred, to being able to listen to the whispers of our ancestors, the water, the trees, the beings, and to work with these indigenous ways and practices to bring us home. So honoring the dead and honoring the future. And as here, when we honor our ancestors, those who walk before us in this moment of collective grief, we're also called to honor the dead of today and pray for what is to come and the generations to come. And as light warriors and priestesses and healers and witches and guides, this is about us carrying forward the torch of light and not letting those who served and sacrificed before us be in vain. So this Celtic New Year is a time of descent into the darkness, the gestation, the dreaming into a new cycle. It's the both and, right? I woke up today very excited and eager about the future, but also with heartbreak on my heart of what's going on in the world, right? We are living in the both and right now. We are living in deep times of contrast, and that's going to way the new timeline gets to be. We are celebrating and mourning oftentimes simultaneously. And so it's a great opportunity for us to really take this day on and these 2 days on, because culturally we're in a dark time, y'all. They will look back at this time in history, because we will make it. And they will say this was a dark period, a descent into the darkness, a gestation and the dreaming of the new. Time for art, time for new ways of leadership, right? And just like the fertile soil, the darkness is what brings in the new world, right? The seed's in the dark for a real long time. So coming together in ritual will help us not get lost in despair, but it will root us in remembrance, community, and vision, right? It's this holy trinity, right? Reverence, community, and vision. Reverence, remembrance, community. And through that, we can birth a new way, a new portal. Okay, so building these altars are not just spiritual, but this is an act of decolonization and of justice, truly. remembering what dominated systems wanted us to forget, connected to the lineage, connected to the earth. Right? It's not just about buying a bunch of candy. It's fun and all. Yeah. Ooh, Sarah said, drums are relaxing. Yes, more of that. My candle went out during the journaling right when I released an old self. Ooh, potent moment you share. Thank you as always. Oh, yeah, girl. So honoring our ancestors keeps us rooted in lineage, resilience, and belonging rather than swept away by the consumerism and fear. When we come back to reverence, the fear goes away. When we come back to the sacred, fear goes away. We come back to love, we come back to connection. Yeah. So as this world is growing more dark and more chaotic, we gather in circle to remember who we are and where we came. And it's not just about the dead today, it's also about the living. We are our ancestors' greatest dreams. And some of us, I believe, we are our ancestors. We are the ancestors, right? But this is about us facing what's ending, honoring it, honoring our ancestors, honoring our old versions of ourselves, and then planting seeds for the new. Yeah, so ritual is medicine, y'all. And this is how we stay sane and sovereign and strong, right? And that's why we gathered tonight, and that's why I'm going to be opening up a way for us to continue to be gathering for 4 weeks in deeper remembrance. But for now, I really want to hear what came alive for you guys. I want to hear what you're letting go of. What is dying? What are you grateful for? And what's being birthed anew? Who would like to unmute their phones and share? And if you don't feel comfortable, you can share in the chat. But being witnessed, oh, Holy Trinity. I was channeling, let me try. I think I said reverence, remembrance, and community, or remembrance, community, and vision. Yeah, reverence, community, and vision. I think this was really the formula for us getting through, not just surviving, but thriving. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a sec. So who would like to share? Hey, hey. I know we're doing a little bit of a death ceremony, but we're also in a celebratory space too. We get to be both of it. So what's dying? Share it in the chat. What's dying, or unmute your phone. You are worthy of being heard and
I'll
witnessed.
come off the mute, Amber.
Yay!
Hi. I'm Sarah, everyone. Thank you, Amber. Always so beautiful. Definitely the this and of old parts of me dying. I keep getting pieces of an old life that come in and are asking me to revisit. And in such a beautiful way, revisiting them and offering my gratitude for their presence and what they offered me at the time. And then moving really deeply into the trusting of what's coming for one, and then trusting of my connection with the sacred and with spirit, and how that really clears the path of all obstacles in a way that I never possibly could understand, but am more and more accepting of. So really harvesting the fruits of my own change, of my own awakening, and then my own part to play in the connectedness of this web of life. So nice.
Yeah, what are you birthing?
Oh gosh, so many things. I got a lot coming up. I think that an over encompassing description of the birthing is, let it come in 1 second. It's like a wholly transformed self, right? Holy, WHOLLY, but also holy in the sense that it is so sacred. And as I interweave more with the sacred, it's everything that's coming out of it is becoming more and more sacred. So this is the way.
And what are you harvesting? What are you celebrating over the last year that you're the most proud of?
Oh,
Did anybody else lose her, or is it just me? I'm seeing Anthony and Mallory moving, but I'm seeing little Sarah frozen.
There you
Sarah,
go.
there she's
There we
back.
go. I'm in the back country using some weird internet thing, so I'm doing our best. Um, Harvesting over the last year, my gosh, I think, oh, I'm just such a completely different person in so many ways from the last year of life. And I think just really harvesting the wisdom of the experiences that have presented themselves to me in the last year, um, and really, yeah, taking the fruits of that and moving forward with that, rolling into a season that is usually so dark for me. And gosh, you mentioned rolling into a summer when that really sparked within me. Like, that's kind of how I'm feeling. I feel like I'm moving into, yes, a dark season and also a season of great potentiality. And so, holding both of those and really being able to reflect on the last year of life and um, how much has changed and how much gets to continue changing. And really, it's less about changing and more about coming into truth, right? So, yeah, so good.
Thank you for sharing. Sarah
Yeah.
just completed a 9-month journey with me in the Activate Your Priestess. So we've been deep in the rose lineage and pilgrimage and in reverence and learning so much about Mother Mary and the sacred rose mysteries. And so, yeah, I think there's many of us who've been deep in it for the last 9 months that are like, we're in our summer, coming into our summer now, even though it's getting dark on the outside. Usually, like people think, oh, your summer, you're full of all the energy. And our summer was like, woo, my spring was fucking gnarly. I
Mm.
was feel like I died this early spring. I think I did die. I was in the hospital twice. So yeah, I think that sometimes we sync up with the seasons, but sometimes one person's summer can be one person's winter, and one person's, you know, spring can be some person's winter. So just know that you have all seasons within you, and don't compare yourself just 'cause you're like, oh, well, it's great that Sarah's in this potentiality fucking portal, but I'm in the fucking death portal. So don't feel that. Believe me, I was in a death portal for 2 years. So I'm celebrating me being down in the descent to the underworld, colonizing myself, getting out of America, disassociating with all these friends who are completely wrapped in the spiritual industrial complex of greed and capitalism. And I'm like, gotta get out of that shit. So it's been a painful death for me. So celebrating me in my springtime, my summertime. Just know I've been in the depths of hell. So if you were in the depths of hell right now, there's light out. I promise. It's coming. It's coming. Thank you, Sarah. Who else would like to share? Anthony.
Can I just want to show you something from my altar. I don't know if you
Please.
can quite see the cones in a triangle. Um,
Oh, I can see that.
yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. So like when you said the Holy Trinity, I looked at that and I was just like, boom. Yeah, it was really cool.
The
So,
portal, the
yeah,
yoni, the way
yeah.
into the new world that is the
Yeah.
triangle, man. It's
And
big.
yeah, so for me, it's so interesting you talk about New Year's Eve today. Tomorrow I'm going to a business conference where you talk about your business, and I'm kind of at a place where I'm almost kind of like burning my old business and wanting to just start something completely new. So
Burn it
um
down, burn it to the
yeah.
ground.
So yeah, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
Are you going to this business card conference as representing your new business, or do you have to still talk about and be in your old business?
I can do whatever I want. So I think I'm going to step into my new business shoes tomorrow and just see what happens.
Ah! What a perfect time. And you're gonna call in your ancestors. What ancestors of yours are on the other side?
So my two grandfathers, I've also got a step grandfather that's on the other side that I actually found last year. It was actually only about an hour from where I'm staying. He was married to my nan, and we went up to visit him, and he died in the night. he was on the floor in the living room, and I found him. And
Oh,
so
shit.
like I've been super connected to him over the last like 18 months. And
Bless him.
yeah, like last year was the first time I kind of done something like this and honored him and my other grandparents and other ancestors that have passed. So yeah, it's a special time for me. And yeah, I'm grateful for this opportunity to connect with you and everyone else, and learn a few extra things to bring into this day for me. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this evening. So yeah, it's evening time here in the UK, just finishing up.
So cool. Well, your grandpa is definitely with you, and just invitation tonight in the morning. Just ask him to be with you and open the way, and
Yeah,
harness in that courage for you to birth this new timeline. Like now's the time,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
this
Literally,
is
just
it.
like full body goosebumps as you're saying that. So yeah, it's close. He's close. They're close. I got three grandfathers that are passed, which is wild. So
Oh,
I feel very blessed in a way. And
that's
um,
cool.
yeah. So
Well, they're with you. The three of them, they're holding it down. So
yeah, the
yeah,
Trinity, three.
the
Yeah,
Trinity.
shit.
So let him walk with you in a good way tomorrow. And yeah, let's open the way, because, they have so much more pull on that side, right? So they can definitely support us. We just have to ask.
Oh, goosebumps. Thank you.
Yeah, meditate tonight and ask them if they have a message for you, or, light a candle and just journal and see what they have to say. But yeah, when we come from love and good way, they're happy to help us with these new seeds we're planting for this new world. So yeah, I say go all in. We'll be praying for you and cheering you on. You got to keep me posted and let me know how it goes tomorrow. Not now, when? On the new year. Perfect. Who else would like to share? Lauren would.
Hello, lovely.
So good to see you. It's
You
been ages.
too. You too. So I kind of just was channel writing, and
Perfect.
what came out was the illusion that my wings are clipped is what I'm letting die.
Nice.
Um, this year has been probably one of the worst years of my life. And then with everything that is going on in the world, it's so easy to feel hopeless and helpless and all the things. And um I've just been kind of marinating in this story that I'm just stuck. Um and so I'm really want to let that go. And like you mentioned, we're kind of in that both end period. And even though this has been a very difficult time for me, I'm also the strongest I've ever been. Um so there's a little bit of like there's grief, but there's also like honoring at the same time. Um So yeah, that's what I'm letting die at this gateway. Yeah.
So I'm hearing you're grateful for your strength, then your
Yeah,
resilience.
that's actually what I wrote down as the first thing that came out as what I'm harvesting this year was my resilience. Um and my commitment to my expansion. Um
Nice.
and as far as ancestors, I actually it's interesting, the one that I feel the most actually passed away before I was even born. Um, and she even passed away when my mom was a child, so my mom never really knew her, but a grandmother of mine. Um, and out of all of my relatives, I feel the closest to her, even though we never physically met, which has always been wild to me.
Are
And
you named after her? Is you like your middle or your first name in her name?
no, no, not at all. Um, she died very suddenly, when my mom was only 2. Um, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I've always felt her presence. Um,
Hmm.
and even in those moments when, you're like feel like you're in the basement of rock bottom, it's her strength that I feel, and
Yeah.
that commitment to constantly grow even when you feel like the soil is just absolutely not fertile for you to do so. Um, so yeah, it's very pivotal time that I feel like we're all in, but I definitely feel like I'm in as well.
So without and within, oftentimes, right? The death, the
Yeah,
gestation, and the rebirth, right? The Holy Trinity,
yeah,
it's all the circle. So you're right on time.
yeah, yeah.
You're right on time. And the good news
Thank
is
you.
you've survived 100% of your worst days.
I did. I did. That's true.
So congratulations in
Thank
that.
you.
And we love you. And we get
I
it.
love you.
And there's nothing to fix,
There's
right?
nothing.
Nothing to
No.
fix. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, right? And so just honoring you, sister, in your cycles, because they're
Thank you.
perfectly imperfect, just like we all are. And that means something big is about to be birthed and born. And this old version of Lauren has got to die.
Yes.
But we will let this version go with so much love and amazing. We see you.
Thank you.
I'm happy you came. Is there anyone else feeling the call to share before I share what to do next? Or invitation of what to do next, rather. Nothing is mandatory. So I would love to invite you to do a couple things with what you wrote tonight. You can go outside, find some leaves. You can speak what you are wanting to die into the leaf that's fallen. You can crush it or bury it into the earth. You can also dig a hole and you can crumple up this paper and you can bury it into the earth, which includes what you're letting die and what you're being reborn and seeding. You can also actually burn this piece of paper and you can burn away what it is that you're letting die and offering up to spirit of what it is that you are releasing so that it can be reborn, right? And letting the powerful, powerful fire support you in that transmutation of what was into what is. Oh, Sky said something. Strength and resilient are the first two things that came up for me, two things I'm harvesting. Yes, I love that. Looks like you and Lauren are really connected in that. So if anyone would like to share what they're harvesting, what they're letting die, I'm here for it. You can share it in the chat. You can also keep it sacred in your heart. No pressure either way in that. But the ritual would be to speak it into a leaf, crumble it up anew. You could actually do 3 leaves. You could speak each one and plant it. And what you're calling in. I remember doing this practice last year with 3 leaves or 2 years ago. And wow, that's crazy. I just remembered this on Samhain, and I went out by this tree by my house and I spoke into wanting to call in my beloved, and that happened. Spoke it into the beautiful leaf, and I buried it. Know exactly where I buried it too. I buried them right behind this tree in the park by my house. And so using the powerful nature harvest energy, and going out and speaking to the plants and giving gratitude. I think I'm pretty confident I made an offering first, maybe offered up some flowers, I'm sure, some cacao, some rose petals, some coffee, some tobacco. Anytime I'm in nature, I always come in a good way, and offer a gift, or if not, I sing. But more of that later. Survival, pride, gratitude, and voice. Yes. Well done. Well done. Those are all powerful things to be harvesting. And so I think when we look back, we realize that there's a lot more that we have accomplished in a year, even if it feels like it's been the worst years of our life. We can have come in a good way with reverence and acceptance. And from that space of honoring and accepting what was, we can step into what is coming anew. Yeah. How does that feel? I'm harvesting loving discipline, commitment, worship towards my mission, releasing the need to always fix and heal myself. Yes, girl. What if we just were like, you know what? We don't need to fix anything. We just get to love ourselves for more who we are. We are not broken. We are not broken. We are perfect, whole, and complete, and always evolving beings. Tell them, yes, right? I think there is also this addiction to like heal, 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 right? I think it's more feel, 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 feel. Yeah. Beautiful. Anyone else feel called to share what you're harvesting, what you're letting die, and be witnessed in what you're reborning so we can amplify and magnify that prayer? I'm letting die my past victim self. I honor her and I release her. I'm harvesting my own power, potency, and deep devotion for the greatest good of all. I harvest the abundance of life force energy to lead me where I belong, to share the purest ways of love. Yes. Ooh, I'm excited to share. Okay, so I'm harvesting, listening to the call of the goddess last year in Morocco to launch Bringers of the Rose, which was a 9-month coven of 9 sisters going on a 9-month journey during the 9-year, to create their own relationship with the rose, with the Marys, to find their way back home to these rose mysteries and to come in a good way of reverence and to be into the listening and on the unfolding of a new way of being in the matriarchal way. I'm harvesting that 5 of the priestesses came to support in Morocco, and it was so beautiful to witness them in their fullest expression of their leadership, and for me to finally learn what it means to lead in circle, not a pyramid, which is something that I am decolonizing and detaching from, of being in the coaching industry for a decade where it's very much pyramids. And I believe we all have medicine, and so opening the space and handing the mic and allowing my sisters to support me, support us, was really one of the most powerful learnings and expansions of my life. And I'm so excited to open that path for other people to come in, and to also have that confidence and that covenant, that community, and to have the trust of their mentor to open up their sacred spaces and let them co-lead alongside, womb to womb, heart to heart. I'm harvesting. I'm very clear that I only stand for supporting people who stand for the sacred, over sales, the divine over dollars. And I am so very clear that my business gets to center the sacred, life, liberation, freedom, and peace for all beings, or it's not worth it. And so I am very excited for letting that version of Amber die, and to be open to being led by the divine as I'm supporting other people and being, and trusting that spirit has my back, and I'm listening deeply to the goddess, in all ways, in the way in which I lead. And so I'm harvesting matriarchal leadership and harvesting co-creating more spaces where people can step into leading in a good way in right relation. So that's getting me really fired up and helping others pivot their businesses and their ways that we all get to meet people where they're at, and we can all create something new, because none of us know what it fucking looks like, really, but we're doing our best. And I think those of us who are connected to the sacred are gonna be just fine. At least that's what all my guides are telling me. Amazing. So excited. Okay, so, oh, yay, Joe K. Well, that's what I'm here to do. Love you, Mallory. So I want to share before we close that I have not shared this publicly yet, and there will be limited spaces in this coven, but you guys are the first to participate, or first to know, because you're here participating. So I am opening up Reverence, which is going to be a 4-week journey to support the real ones who are feeling the call to go deeper into nature-based indigenous ways and devotional rituals, so that we can not only survive, but thrive and be held by the divine during this time. So I'm going to lead 4 online workshops over 4 weeks in Reverence, and we're going to learn to create a deeper relationship with Reverence itself, which is something that supported me and my students over the last decade. And now I feel ever more resilient. And what I've heard from all of my students is that they feel more confident and safe and are in complete trust and surrender, and not have to know how everything needs to look, which is having them relax in their nervous systems and opening up their channels of creativity. They're manifesting abundance, they're manifesting new opportunities, and it's coming to them instead of them searching. And I truly believe this is a true testament to us really centering the sacred over this last year. As you begin to learn these ancient devotional practices to support you in honoring your ancestors, the sacred, as well as working with the powerful earth, air, water, and fire beings, Week by week, you're going to strengthen your intuition. You're going to deepen your ability to listen to the whispers of your happy ancestors and the ancestors. And you're going to learn to hear the call and trust the guidance of the goddess and the great spirit within so that you can lead confidently during this time. So this would be for you if you understand that a deep connection to Mother Earth and the sacred has to become a priority for us, not just to survive, but to thrive and be held during this time. That our relationship has got to be rooted in devotion and reciprocity, and that will serve as a foundation to support us with confidence, clarity, and unwavering trust and resilience to remain solid, grounded, and healthy. This is for you if you desire to feel mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually healthy during these turbulent, unknown times. This journey is also going to be for you if you desire to deepen into humble spiritual leadership that's anchored in embodiment and rooted in ancient indigenous wisdom and service to life, liberation, freedom, and peace for all beings over colonialism, domination, and greed. If you desire to reconnect or build a relationship with the sacred and Mother Earth as an ally, a lifeline, a mentor, a teacher, or if you desire to receive support in preparing your body and mind through mental, spiritual, and physical grounding practices and rituals so you can ride these collective waves. So, reverence is for the real ones, the leaders, the healers, the empaths who want to embody reverence and lead in a good way that's in right relation and stands for solidarity with life, mother, women, children, and the earth. So, if you guys want to walk in a good way, I am going to put the link right here. It is 4 weeks. I think we're going to meet on a Saturday morning for those in the States. You guys can check it out. It is 222, but for you guys, it's going to be 111, and it's for 4 weeks. If money is a thing, it doesn't get to be a fucking thing. So you get to reach out to me and we get to figure it out. I'm committed to never leaving anybody behind. This is the first thing I've launched in over a year. And as someone who is launching like 3 to 6 courses every freaking year, like a maniac, working 365, 24/7, I'm really excited about this. I've been sitting on this for many months now, and it just gets to be simple. So it's going to be 4 weeks. We're going to meet for probably 2 hours. It's going to be a mix between ceremony and ritual and mentorship. We're going to meet on Zoom, or we're going to meet on somewhere else. We're going to have a WhatsApp group to support each other in between. You're going to get practices each week and rituals to deepen your connection to the earth, the air, the water, the fire. And we're going to come together in a good way. And yes, the tools that you'll learn will be helpful to pass on to your clients, friends, and children. No, it's not a certification in any way. You can certify your own damn self. Absolutely, Anthony, 100%. It's for the real ones, those who are here to stand in solidarity and create something new, a new pathway. So as spoken by a native elder, those who are not connected to the Great Mother during this time will most likely not make it. And I don't say that to scare us, but to invite us into learning how to be our own savior and our own healers that we're looking for. We really get to learn to stand in deep relation with the elements. It has changed my life over the last year. Yes, I've been dabbling, but this year I went all in. So did my students and my priestesses, and things have shifted immensely for them in the deep trust. And I think what's required right now is trust and to be able to listen and to just follow the next most obvious step. But through reverence, we will create resilience and we will connect deeper to God, Goddess, I Am, consciousness and oneness. And so I get to make it as a price. I made it at a price that I feel like everyone can figure out. 111 for 4 weeks is what you guys get it for. The public's going to get it for 222. For those of you on the replay, yes, you get to have that offering. And I want to make it an intimate group. It's not going to be very many people. We'll meet for a couple hours on Zoom. We'll have a WhatsApp chat. It gets to be that simple. Life is very complicated right now. We're going to make shit easy. We're just going to get together. We're going to learn some rituals. We're going to have 1 week dedicated to water, 1 week dedicated to earth, 1 week dedicated to air, one earth dedicated to fire. We're going to have a kickoff ceremony on the 111 portal. I'm very excited. So I just put this up today. I worked on it. I'm using the stand thing as someone who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on online platforms and sequences and ads and bullshit. I'm done with all that. I created this. I'm learning the stand store thing. It's actually really cool. I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in team. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't live in the States anymore. I don't have to fucking make $15,000 a month just to survive. I'm living in Portugal now. My cost of living has gone down 2/3, and so I'm committed to meeting people where they're at financially. I would love to have you a part of Reverence. I'm real fucking excited about it. It's gonna be really special. And for those that do Reverence, we'll have an opportunity to apply to be in Coven, which will be a small group of leaders to go on another 9-month journey alongside. I don't know what that looks like yet. I'm still in the listening. I've been flushing it through, but I'm moving slow now, not fast. And so I'm really being gentle with what Spirit's asking and what's going to be in the highest service to everyone. And this is my new way of matriarchal leadership. Regardless if you're a man or a woman, embodying the matriarchal ways of the listening and the slowness and is the new way. But we're creating a new earth together. We're creating a new timeline, and none of us know what it looks like. But I do think if we stick close to the sacred, we're gonna be all right. So I love you all. I would be honored to see you in Reverence if you are interested in one-on-one mentorship. I'm super grateful that I am here to meet people where they're at financially. Every single one of my clients is paying a different price. So if you desire one-on-one leadership with your business, with your spiritual path, with building retreats, with creating your own communities or offerings, please know I've done this for a decade. I love it. It lights me up. I'm here for you. And I will meet you at what you can afford. So you can also come to Portugal, you can ritual, you can ceremony with me. I've got some pilgrimages in the cauldron coming up in Glastonbury in Ireland. Nothing is set in stone quite yet. But like I said, right now, Reverence feels real and true. And those who take Reverence will have an opportunity to apply for Coven. And those that apply for Coven, I will make them take Reverence first to make sure that they're definitely committed to the ancestors and doing this good work, because we need more people pounding the drum of reverence and community and taking care of each other. So I'm so honored and grateful that each of you showed up tonight. For those of you that are on the replay, thank you. Please tag me on social when you build your altars. I would love to share them and celebrate your ancestors. If you want to chat, you can send me a message on Instagram, or I think the email would have come up. Trying to think if there's anything else. Put your candles up tonight, burn away your stuff, bury it. You can also put it in water if you like. You can also speak your intentions into water and you can pour it into the earth. But really don't make it so complicated. Reverence gets to be really easy. Oh, good question, Kara. Thank you. We're gonna kick it off on 1/1 on the 11/11 portal. 11/11. So on November 11th, we'll have our opening ceremony. So it's actually 5 weeks. You'll have the opening ceremony on 11/11, and then we'll vote on the times. But I'd like to do it on Saturdays because I know a lot of people work and they have kids and things like that. But we'll make it at a time that will work for all of us. So yeah, click it there. You guys have 24 hours to take advantage. By the time Samhain ends tomorrow, I'll leave that open for you guys, and then I'm going to change that link to 222. So you guys, if you want in, jump in, and let's ceremony and let's go back to reverence together, and let's lead in circles, not pyramids. How's that sound? Yay! Thank you, Sky. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Anthony. You're so amazing, Anthony. I hope you spend more time with us. Thank you, Sarah and Mallory, and all the rest who are on the replay. Please tag me in your rituals. I would love for you to share in the chat at least a few things that you are taking with you tonight. What are you taking away with you tonight? You can unmute your phone if you'd like to too, or you can write in the chat. Whatever, you can't mess it up. I'm excited to try making some turnip soup tomorrow. I don't know if it's gonna taste good, so Sarah, I might need to ask you what some flavors I can do to make that shit taste good, but I'm gonna make some squash, some of this butternut squash, macaroni and cheese, which I saw this badass vegan recipe that I'm actually gonna do that with some garlic and bake some garlic and some red onions and some olive oil and some thyme in the oven, and then you blend it up, and then you put some nutritional yeast in it. And then you basically put some cashews, you blend some cashews in there, and you make like a creamy cashew non-cheese, which I could probably use cheese. Mac and cheese. Yeah. And then I'm gonna make turnip soup, and Gustavo goes, "What's a turnip?" He like didn't know what this was. I'm like, I think this is a turnip. If it's not, well, I thought it was. Closest thing. Closest thing they had here in Portugal to a turnip. Taking away my Holy Trinity connection with my grandfathers. with them in the weekend to help kick off my business. Yes, it is. Leading from integrity and circle and not a pyramid. Yes. What else? Lauren, Joe, Kara, Sky, Sarah, what are your biggest takeaways tonight? And I'm going to close the portal after you guys share. Just thanking all of our happy ancestors and ancestors of the land we stand. Thank you to the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged ones, the creepy crawlies, our beautiful animal power guides, the sacred owl, the wolf, the duck. Thank you so much to Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, White Buffalo, Calf Woman in the Order of the Sacred Grandmas, Joan of Arc, Lakshmi, Isis, Hecate, Archangel Michael, Ganesha, Babaji, Yogananda, and any other, the beautiful beings that you called in, your happy ancestors and your unseen team of light. Thank you to my dad, Paul Leslie Valdez, Annie, Lima, Knezevich, Romeo, and Angel. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I love you so much, Bears. I miss you so much. And thank you to all of your happy ancestors, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and all your deceased loved ones who are with you. So grateful and excited to connect with you. Thank you to the earth beings, the water spirits, the fire beings, and the air beings. Thank you so much for being with me and nudging me ever so gently over the last few months to create reverence, and for being gentle with me as I've been sitting on it and praying on it and leaning into it. And I'm open and receptive to all of the souls that want to come on this journey of coming back to what matters. And I will keep banging my drum. And I know that those that hear it and align to reverence and to the sacred will make their way to me. So I open the way now for any and all beings that are ready to come forward, and lovingly trust that those that get it and the real ones will make their way as I pivot my business into centering the sacred. That is a turn up. Thank you, Sky. Carrying forward the torch of light, taking away that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, letting go of reality with all its limitations, surrendering to the great womb, no thing where endless potential is possible. Aho, ashe, and so it is. Thinking of my ancestors and how they're always with me, and thinking more of my harvest. Yes, Kara, let's celebrate you. And also the principle of leading in a circle. What a great reminder. Yes, we get to lead in circles, not pyramids, as the patriarchy collapses and this oneness comes back online. We all matter. We all have medicine. We all have gifts, and none of us are free until all of us are free. We've got to take care of each other. So if you can donate to Jamaica, I put the link in my stand store. I'm also going to put a link also to some companies and to some families. I know there are some people in my community who are getting their SNAP benefits taken away. So I'm imagining we're going to be putting up some links for those individuals who need some support right now. And so we all got to take care of each other, especially women, because the majority of the people on SNAP benefits are women and elderly. And so we do get to really stand for the free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan. Yes, free liberation, freedom for all beings, free the feminine. Yes, please. So I have links in my bio on Instagram for my friend Nadia and my friend Hannah in Palestine, who are still continuing to rebuild and fight for their lives. So if you feel the call, please go ahead and make a donation. Any amount will help. And I love you all. So portal is closed. Free the masculine from disembodied ways they've been pulled into, not of their own fault. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, free the feminine, free the masculine, and let these unhealthy ways, these toxic ways that have imprinted all genders, all race, all religions, all creeds, may it all collapse. Taking away recognition and return to matriarchy is our road to the future. Yes, Sky. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, the patriarchy has been in rule for far too long, and it's time for us to balance the scales. So with that being said, if you feel a prayer you want to put into the pot, let's just witness it and amplify it together. I was cognizant of time, but I am always here for prayer. Affirming, declaring and demanding free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free all people, freeing the masculine from the disembodying ways they've been pulled into, not of their own fault, freeing the feminine, and recognizing the return to the matriarchy is our road to the future. May we all center the sacred when we all come back to what matters. Life, children, the great mother. When we center that, life will shift. Aho, ashe, and so it is, and so it shall be. By the power of we, the Holy Trinity, repeat after me, all three of us. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is, and so it shall be. By the power of we, the Holy Trinity, it is done, it is done, it is done, it is done. Oh, you all are so special. What a gift. Thank you for this time we shared tonight. Thank you for caring about the sacred, and thank you for caring about your ancestors. It's been really hard pounding the drum, not feeling like people don't give a fuck. And it's been breaking my heart. And so you helped me remember that people do care. And out of the 60 people that showed up, thank you all for showing up live so I could see your hearts and feel you, read your words and see your faces. It means the world. Yes, Joe, I hope you will all join me in reverence. You are worthy, you deserve it. And let's all come back to these ancient rituals and let's give ourselves accountability and community. Because community is the only way we're going to get through this thing. International, online, and in person. All three. I love you all. Happy Samhain, happy Celtic New Year, happy Day of the Dead. Enjoy your bread and let's honor the dead. And I'm a rhymer, I'm a ramper. Okay, I love you all. Bless, bless. My heart to my womb. Love you so. Thank you.